What could make a beloved actress smile brighter than the spotlight itself? When Jung So Min stepped into view, her radiant expression left fans breathless. But the reason behind that glow is far more heartwarming than any drama twist. My parents finally approved my relationship with Jung Hae, and she revealed sparking waves of excitement across the industry. What happened behind closed doors to turn hesitation into heartfelt approval? Let's uncover every detail right now on Red Carpet Revealed. If he's the one who truly makes you smile, then maybe it's time we meet him. Those were the unexpected words that shattered months of quiet tension and lit a spark of hope in Jung So Min's heart. It happened not on a glamorous film set or an elite awards ceremony, but in the quiet corner of her family's garden during a rare Sunday lunch. The sunlight filtered softly through the leaves, casting moving shadows across the table. Her mother was folding napkins. Her father, unusually quiet, stirred his tea without sipping. And so Min, nervously twirling her bracelet, a small silver gift from Jung Hae In, had finally gathered the courage to say it aloud. I want you to meet someone. I love him. There was a long pause. Her mother exchanged a glance with her father. No dramatic outburst, no emotional embrace, just the soft, measured words that marked a turning point in a love story that had spent too long in the shadows. But to understand how significant those words were, we have to go back to the beginning of a relationship that started with laughter, was threatened by silence, and ultimately survived because two people refused to let go. They met on set, not for a rom com, ironically, but for a melodrama where the two barely shared screen time. But off camera, it was a different story. Jung Hae In with his quiet charm and So Min with her lively wit clicked like two puzzle pieces that had waited years to find each other. Whispers of their romance began almost immediately. A shared car ride, a late night coffee stop, matching sneakers purely coincidental. The media speculated, fans shipped, agencies denied. But the real drama wasn't in the tabloids, it was in the living room of So Min's childhood home. Her parents, fiercely protective, had always imagined their daughter with someone outside the chaotic world of entertainment. A lawyer, perhaps, a professor, someone stable. Jung Hae, in despite his gentlemanly demeanor, was still an actor, and worse, an actor in the public eye. With every article, every photo leak, the tension grew. What if this ended in scandal? What if it hurt her image? What if he broke her heart? The pressure mounted. So Min stopped bringing her phone to family dinners. She dodged questions. She smiled too much, spoke too little. Behind closed doors, the couple struggled. Not because they didn't love each other, but because love in silence becomes heavy. One particularly stormy evening, after yet another fight with her parents. So Min called Hay in and said words she never thought she'd say. Maybe we should stop, just for a while. Hay in didn't argue. He didn't beg. He just said, if this is what you need to protect your heart, I'll wait. But I'll never stop loving you. That was the night she cried until sunrise. But love, real love, doesn't fade when things get difficult. It fights back. And Hay, in true to his word, waited. He sent messages without pressure. He mailed her a copy of her favorite book with notes scribbled in the margins. Quiet, patient, constant. Eventually, So Min's parents began to notice the change in her. She wasn't heartbroken. She was steady, focused, and yes, still smiling when she looked at her phone. It was her mother who spoke first. You've grown stronger, not weaker. Maybe he's not who we feared he was. April 12th, a date that now feels etched in gold. Jung Hae In, invited not as a celebrity but as a suitor, arrived at the family home with a nervous smile and a trembling voice. He wore no designer clothes, brought no grand gifts, just a handwritten letter and a sincere heart. He spoke of love, not passion, not fame, just love. Quiet, patient, respectful love. When he finished, So Min's father stood, walked to him, and after a long silence, offered a hand. It was done, the walls were gone. Just weeks later, at a major red carpet event, reporters were stunned by So Min's glowing appearance. Not just her dress, though it was stunning, but her smile. When asked what had changed, she didn't hesitate. My parents finally approved my relationship with Jung Hae In. The moment went viral. Fans cried, Media exploded, and Hae In, watching from backstage, smiled too. The approval may have come quietly, but its impact was thunderous. Those who have followed Jung So Min's career know she's not one to flaunt her personal life yet. Now, something had shifted. In her recent interviews, there was a softness to her voice when she spoke of having someone to lean on, a new glow in her eyes that didn't come from stage lights but from peace, a long overdue peace. Sources close to her say she's finally moving without hesitation. She's planning more freely. She's no longer asking for permission to be happy, she's claiming it. One stylist noted how she now chooses her own outfits with surprising boldness. She says, Hae In likes this color, and that's enough. For Jung Hae In, the change has been equally profound. Known for his reserved nature and measured speech, he's now more open, even playful. During a recent talk show appearance, when asked if he believed in soulmates, he smiled without speaking, then pulled out a photo of a quiet sunset taken by So Min during one of their secret Jeju trips. The audience erupted, but love in the limelight is never without its shadows. In the weeks following So Min's revelation, social media exploded with both support and skepticism. Some fans cheered the couple's bravery. Others questioned the timing. Was it a PR move? A prelude to a new drama together? But those closest to the couple insist this wasn't for cameras. In fact, it almost never happened. There were moments, said a senior producer who had worked with both actors, where they seriously considered keeping it a secret forever. Not because they were ashamed, but because they didn't want their love to be consumed by the public like another disposable headline. So Min's choice to speak publicly wasn't strategic. It was emotional. It just slipped out, she later admitted in a backstage interview. I was too happy to hide it anymore. Since the revelation, the couple has been seen more openly, though still with their signature subtlety. A glimpse at a jazz bar in Itaewon. A fan-captured photo of them holding hands outside a small bakery in Busan. No security detail, no drama, just two people doing life together. Insiders say the couple now spends more time away from Seoul, especially at a modest private villa on Jeju Island. There, they live simply cooking, reading, even growing herbs on a tiny balcony garden. They're writing a new kind of love story, said one close friend. Not the glamorous K-drama kind, but the real kind. The messy, beautiful, sometimes quiet kind. And while wedding bells are not yet ringing, those around them believe it's only a matter of time. They're already each other's home, said one director who recently worked with So Min. Marriage would just be the paperwork. What makes this story so captivating isn't just the romance, it's the rebellion. Not the loud, defiant kind, but the quiet courage of two people who dared to wait, who respected each other's pace, who put real emotion above performance. In a society where appearances often dictate destiny, Jung So Min and Jung Hae In chose authenticity. And in doing so, they've inspired a new conversation about love, family, and what it means to protect your heart without closing it off. For young fans navigating their own forbidden loves, for artists suffocating under public expectations, this story is more than entertainment. It's a quiet revolution. Jung So Min's smile that day on the red carpet wasn't just beautiful, it was powerful. It was a symbol of endurance, of reconciliation, and of love finally allowed to breathe. When she said, my parents finally approved my relationship with Jung Hae, and it wasn't just a headline, it was a declaration of victory over silence, fear, and judgment. And perhaps in that one sentence, she gave hope to everyone still waiting for their own moment of light. Because sometimes, the greatest love stories aren't written on scripts. They're whispered in gardens, spoken over trembling teacups, and captured forever in a smile that changed everything.